All right, guys, welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. This is my channel. My name is Pete, in case you didn't know that. Now, I have successfully fired up the Dyna. In the previous video, you've seen that. But I found some problems again. Nothing like working on something that's sat for 6, 7 years or 10 years or however long the damn thing sat. It's always a nightmare. Every time you find a problem, you find a new problem. And you got to solve that and find another problem. So before I take the gas tank off because of the pin leak that's in it, I'm going to make a cup of coffee. And because I'm stressed, we're going to go with some number 7. Yep, Jack Daniel's number 7 coffee. This was a Christmas gift, and I must say, some very good coffee. So what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to be using my Pathfinder M40 Swedish Army knockoff mess kit, wind stove, and alcohol burner. So let's get that rolling. Yeah, I must say I was a little not sure about the Pathfinder Trangia because it's made of stainless steel and everybody else makes them out of brass. And I was like, well, the original manufacturer probably made it out of brass for a good reason. But I must say the stainless steel does work good. Yeah, it's lit. Okay, so then we'll put that over the top of that. And we will be putting enough water in this and then transferring it to the canteen cup. Because I don't want to sell myself short on this. Oh, we'll put a little more in there. Okay. Alrighty, so a big old Yeti Peterbilt cup is about 2/3 of a cup in my canteen cup. And I am going to sit it right there. And the time on deck is 2:31. Okay. So now I'm going to take this, set this aside because this is my pour over unit. And for that particular cup, I need about 4 scoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll call that good. Okay. Actually, let me take that out of there because I'll misplace that and I won't know where the hell it's at. Yeah, I feel heat coming out of that bad boy. Okay. Yep. All right, so let me put this back in my bag. And while we're waiting on that to boil, for the record, guys, everything I'm using today fit in my vintage French Army gas. And today everything fit in my vintage French Army gas. Well, that sounds ghetto. Gas mask bag. It has some straps on the back here for, I guess, hooking up to your harness or whatever. It has a leg strap, so I guess you kind of carry it on your hip or whatever. I've got a canteen strap on it, but it's made out of really heavy vinyl, canvas vinyl, I guess. But I put my little grab it now. It's at the bottom of the bag, of course. But I put my little scooper in there. I put my alcohol stove in here, and I put my spork in there. And then, of course, I got my mess pot and kettle. And then I put my canteen and canteen cup in there. And then I put my coffee stuff in the bag there and still had a leftover bag. So this, for a day hike, could make a nice little haversack. French Army gas mask. Yeah, you'll just have to bear with me, guys. Since I got my new Hollywood smile, I did not know one of the side effects would be learning how to talk again, because I got two plastic, acrylic, or whatever, the polymer, whatever they're made of, plates in my mouth now. Just take my word for it. It's weird. We'll just stop there. I'm going to talk about that on another video. Cut. But just know this. I'm very happy with the money I spent. It was money well spent. It was a lot of money. And I went up there with no insurance. I paid cash. They were happy to see me. But I'll talk about that in another video. I'll just say this. It is well worth it. But there was some things I didn't know going into that I'll share with you. So if you're contemplating going to a dentist, getting the rest of your teeth yanked out and getting fitted for dentures, you got the money or your insurance will do it, just suck it up and go do it. I mean, I know nobody wants to like just wake up one day and say, you know, today's the day I'm going to go see a knucklehead that's going to stick 16 penny size needles in my mouth and numb my whole head up and then pull what's left of my teeth out. And then I'm going to walk around all like 4 weeks till it heals up, get fitted for dentures, and then live happily ever after. It's just not on most people's bucket list. But I can honestly say this. It was money well spent. I'm glad I did it. Stay tuned on that story. So it has been 5 minutes. And there's bubbles on the bottom of the canteen cup. And as you can see, that's a big cup. I don't know what size that tumbler is. I did not buy it. It is a Yeti cup. I do like it. It is a nice cup. I found it in one of my homeless cleanups, and it wasn't really dirty. It wasn't really clean, but it wasn't really dirty. So I looked at it, and I was like, you know what? I can take that home and clean it. That's not a Walmart cup. That's a Yeti cup. So I took it home, cleaned it up really good, threw some stickers on it to personalize it. And full disclosure, I did buy a new lid because the original lid, the gasket wasn't good, and the little flipper switch fell off. So I figured, well, you just need to go ahead, and I spent like $5 for a new lid. So this cup was well worth $5 to me. But you know, you find something like this and you clean it up, put some stickers on it, it becomes yours no matter what nobody says, right? What do we got here? It says, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Yep, absolutely. AMA, American Motorcycle Association, been a member for 15 plus years now. Ceremonic, that's the microphone system I'm using. Socialism sucks. Sure does. It's never worked. Never will. And it says, if I gave a fuck, you'd be the first one I'd give it to. How flattering is that, right? So this is my cup. And I don't remember what the big tizzy was a couple of years ago, but I remember people getting their nuts all in a fucking wad from having their underwear on too tight, if you ask me. They were shooting the shit out of these things and doing all kind of crazy stuff because I guess Yeti said something stupid as a corporation, which that never will end well for anyone. I don't know why they do that. Just if you got a good product, just shut your fucking mouth and sell your product. No matter what your politics are, shut your fucking mouth and sell your product. Because once you open your mouth, you've automatically eliminated half your customer base. Not a smart business move. Oh, we are so close. Now, something I did learn about pour over coffee, though, I thought it was kind of odd, was besides people talking about using special dripper cups with a gooseneck on it and doing it just right with all kinds of drama and whatnot, they were talking about you don't necessarily use boiling water. It's just below boiling water for the perfect cup or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I just want a fucking cup of coffee. God damn. And I'm trying to reduce my footprint and whatnot because as I mentioned in a previous video, I love my cowboy coffee, but you got to carry a big pot, and you got to carry enough water to put in the pot, and you got to carry your coffee. And at times, that's great. I mean, it's the best coffee there is. But I'm thinking for day hiking and overnight camping and traveling and whatnot, where I just probably just need a cup at a time. Pour over system is pretty good. I mean, I always kind of thought you were just like pouring hot water over coffee grinds. I didn't think it was like real coffee, but I'll say it right on camera. I was wrong. There's more to it than that. Not going to get into the science. All right, I see bubbles in there. All right, we are right at like 9, 10 minutes. Okay, so probably 12 to 15 ounce tumbler full of water, put it in my canteen cup, and it was boiling in like 10 minutes. That's good. Okay, so now for the fun part, right? We'll take that off there. We'll set it on the wood because my aluminum workbench will suck the heat right out of that. Take the pliers and pick that up. Take the snuff ring, not your closing ring with the O-ring, because it will melt and then you'll be really, really mad. Because then you'll have to go and buy a new O-ring, and they're like $6, I think, something like that. It's pretty crazy. All right, so now what we try to do here is pour the water out little at a time in a circular motion. Can y'all see that? Actually, let's do this. Pardon me for a minute. Okay. Just in case that thing's hot. I'm right-handed, so we'll just have to do it this way. Just at a nice, slow, circular motion. You wait till the paper cup fills up. You give it a rest. I know the other night I did a premiere video where I was making coffee, and I lost the tail end of that feed, but it was mentioned in there. I had mentioned I had looked at stainless steel strainer cups. It just didn't seem like a good idea to me. And a person or two chimed in and said, yeah, they are exactly what I thought they were. Dirty, messy, drop grinds into your coffee, and just not a good idea, right? Plus, I thought, if I'm using the paper cups, all right, so I'm filtering it through there, which is a good thing. And plus, I got dry paper I can use for fire starter if I have to. But I can't remember what it was I was told, but I was watching a video about coffee and senior citizens because through the magic of being born, I am now officially old. I am an old fart. All right, here's the last little bit of coffee. And it was talking about healthy versus unhealthy ways to make your coffee. And it mentioned cowboy coffee, and it said that while boiling your coffee is good, but it did boil two weird words. I don't remember what they were, but it's stuff that's supposed to be like bad for a senior citizen, right? And they said by simply taking that coffee and pouring it through a paper filter, the paper filter filters out these, well, one of the words started with a C. It was like Carbonaro effect. Anybody get that reference? It wasn't that, but it did something through boiling that it produces things that, well, if I have a choice, I shouldn't make that choice to do it that way. So that's draining. So, yeah, But pardon me while I move the camera back. Yeah, now that I'm officially retarded, I have a lot more time to watch videos and other stupid things, right? And now that I'm officially old, I've been, it piques my interest when I see like a over 65, you must do this or you must eat that. Of course, a lot of times it's just some AI fucking creepazoid, but sometimes there's actual valuable knowledge in there. Because, y'all know at one time I was about 268 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal.
Wow!
Yeah, that was me when I was like 40. Yeah, no shit, huh? Now I'm 65 and I'm like old and feeble. Which I'm fixing to fix that, believe it or not, because now that I'm an old fart, I have, it's part of my insurance plan, and this coffee I can drink it black, but I found that it tastes much better when you sweeten it up with a little bit of sugar and put a little bit of creamer in there. And actually, sweetened condensed milk is your best bet, but I don't have any here, so we're going to use a little bag of sugar. And then we're going to pull out some powdered milk. I don't like the taste of powdered milk because it's skim milk and there's no fat in it, so it tastes pretty dank. But powdered non-fat dry skim milk or whatever this is still better than drinking coffee creamer, because this is pretty much just like freeze-dried, dehydrated, whatever milk. That coffee creamer, I mean, for Christ's sakes, you can start that shit on fire. It makes an excellent fire starter. Why would you want to put that shit in your body, right? Anyways, oh, I was saying that I'm now involved in this thing called silver sneakers. Yeah, I know I giggle every time I say it, right? But, it's this thing for old farts. It's part of my Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance plan. And I can go join up any gym that participates. And I can join their goat yoga program or their old person flex plan or the Tai Chi, whatever they have to offer. Or I can go in there and throw weights down, right? So here in the future, I'm going to be taking advantage of that. Now, I know I'll never hit my peak again. While I'm just as good as I once was, no, wait a minute. Take that back. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm just as good once as I ever was. Well, once you reach a certain age, your bone density says, nah, you're full of shit. But I do plan on taking full advantage of the gym membership, and it said that I can join as many gyms as I want to participate in the program. So if the gym down the road has a certain class, an instructor that I like, I can go down there for that class. Or I can go to another gym that may be a little catering more towards people that lift weights. I can go to that gym. I can do whatever I want as long as I'm inside this insurance loop. So I'm really looking forward to that, guys. But get back to the coffee here real quick. Really good. And it took like 10 minutes to boil up enough for that big old tumbler. So once again, my Pathfinder stove and heat shield has come through. There's going to be more on this later, guys. Like I said in the other video, I am on my way to Florida. I will be going to Florida in a couple of days. I will be down there a couple of weeks. I'm going to put a motorcycle together. And then I'm going to be riding my motorcycle back. Because I'm going down there with some people. And my motorcycle is going to be in the back of the truck. I'm going to go down there. Excuse me. we're going to unload my motorcycle, and then we're going to be putting a four-wheeler in the back of the truck after I get it running. Allegedly, the only thing wrong with it is it's sat for like 2 years. So we're thinking new battery, drain the gas tank, change out the fluids, clean the carburetor. It should fire right off because it was ran when they got bored with it and stopped riding it. So I'm going to spend a day on that and get it going, hopefully. And they're going to come back up here to North Carolina, and I'm going to stay down there. I'm going to put a motorcycle together. I'm not going to have access to a computer down there like I do up here, so I'm not going to have any way to download videos while I'm down there. I'll make a few, but you're going to have to wait to see them when I get back. But I'll be downloading some shorts because besides working on a motorcycle, I definitely plan on going fishing. I mean, I'm in South Florida. How could I not want to go fishing, right? Oh, excuse me. All right, well, I'm going to put the lid on this so it stays warm. Because I know one thing for sure, a Yeti cup will keep whatever you got in there hot or cold. They're definitely nice cups. So with that being said, guys, the Dyna has given me another headache. The motor runs perfect. I need to dial the carburetor in just a little bit. But I found a new headache and a new problem. So now I got to take the gas tank back off and figure out why it's leaking. So appreciate you watching. Canteen cup pour over coffee. I'll give it a 5 out of 5. That's what I give it. Yep. So appreciate you watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.